Good evening, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans. My name is Devious RNG, and we are here on a wonderful day. It is week one of our Duckling Derby, which is a tournament specifically designed for brand new players to the game. I can't be more excited to have my co-com tonight, the Duckling Supreme himself, Deadpool. How you doing, Deadpool?
What a wonderful night. I can't believe it's already here. It's been 6 months since the last Derby. I'm excited for all these new faces here to get some exposure, see what kind of racing skills they can put out.
Yeah, well, even as you say that, I'm thinking, I'm looking at some of these names and thinking, hey, I've seen those names before. There's a couple names that you see around the Discord, and then names that honestly I haven't seen until this evening. So again, part of the reason why I love the Duckling Derby is the fact that it is specifically designed for runners, which is something unlike any other randomizer community or randomizer team Discord that I've seen in the past. Honestly, there are other great ones out there. I'm just saying that this Duckling Derby just feels unique in a lot of ways. So let's get through some flags for tonight. Pretty standard stuff here. What are the big takeaways for our flags?
Well, one thing that I saw is that we're going to have a loose canal somewhere hanging around. We do have a free bridge and a free boat ship, if you will. Mm-hmm. The other thing is that Northern Docks are on. So that means the floater really could be anywhere out there, and Sea Shrine is actually random in its incentive, so it could be anywhere in Sea Shrine. Oh, and let's not forget, there are two forced here, and the force that we are putting on these runners, Black Belt and Fighter. Let me pull up the Blursings real quick.
Yeah, Black Belt and Fighters. It's kind of an interesting idea of why those two. Those are your two big melees, and usually there's that big discussion of do you take the Fighter or do you take the Black Belt? And in this case, you get to have both. And it looks like pretty standard. It's probably what I would do, taking the White Mage and a Black Mage as your other two. I wouldn't be surprised if most of our runners do this. And have you gotten those Blursings, or do you want me to read them out?
Oh yeah, we have the Fighter with plus 10 Vitality, but Black Mage Vitality growth. The Black Belt has plus 10 Agility, but minus 20 HP. White Mage plus 80 HP and minus 10 Vitality, and the Black Mage can use Thieves' Swords, but has minus 1 hit percentage per level.
Yeah, and the all important first magic set here. Not a great black magic set. You get a couple AoE attacks, and wow, that's not fun white magic.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, at least they have a small +4 knife for 2 gold. I kind of say that tongue in cheek, but it is especially when you have a lot of mages and you're starting off early. Something that has just a decent amount of melee damage is always nice to have, though I think with Zap at level 1, I mean, basically you've got what you need for at least the first half of the game.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't take cake as well.
Yeah. Actually, I did have a moment, I think in my one of my runs the other day, where it was between cake and Zap to fill up my last slot, and I couldn't get Danglu out of my head. I had to take the cake.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Same. So we do have our just so you guys know, again, this is our first week of our Duckling Derby. These are brand new runners in the community. Some of them you might, they definitely don't look like new runners. So we're going to be providing a little bit of commentary in terms of what's happening in the game, but we're also going to use this as a little bit of a teaching opportunity. So we're not doing this to, if we make any comments about something a runner should or should not do, that's not to put down any runners. We're trying to use this as learning opportunities if our runners decide to watch these back. But yeah, it looks like we do have Jeffy, BD Jeffy P in the bottom left corner there, doing a little bit of an imp grind to get some levels, and IB Karma and J-Man are both hitting up Temple of Fiends.
I like taking a couple levels on the imps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like it kind of depends on your approach. You know, am I going to open boxes or am I not going to open boxes? If I'm going to open boxes, I might do that a little bit. You know, I might do the Temple of Fiends, you know, take a couple fights there. But if you're nervous about just having that zap and not having enough spell cast, then absolutely, I think that's a good idea.
IB Karma not getting the zap off. So it looks like we're getting a Ruby and an Oxiel from the King and Princess Sarah.
Mm-hmm. Those aren't the greatest. Shout out to Karma for using the alternate Titan snap, picking up some milk from the King. At least it wasn't from Sarah, and that milk is nice and fresh and not 2,000 years in the past.
Yeah, I don't like seeing Oxiel this early because Northern Docks are on, and that item for progression could be in there. Of course, we don't have the canal yet, but it's still scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not quite sure what's going on here with Cuomo's stream, but we're going to try to work on it and get that caught up. But for now, we do have looks like all of our runners have made their way back over to Canaria and heading over to the typical Provoca dive.
It's like lockstep.
Yeah. I mean, what's your thought going into this Provoca? Like, kind of with what we've seen so far.
I would get to Provoca as soon as possible to see if I can get some sort of magic.
Yeah.
Anything that I feel comfortable with. I mean, I love me some Zap and Cake, but I don't think that's gonna, take me to the end game.
Yeah. Oof. I mean, I love me some Quad X. Quad X is absolutely one of my favorite spells. Unfortunately, it's not an AoE spell, so that's not going to do many of our runners any good. But again, we have Zap and Cake, so you don't really necessarily need it.
See, this is kind of where it hurts. When I was looking at this, I would have thought to myself, bring a red mage and a black mage just for that. That would have paid off in spades with life and exit at level 2.
Right. Yeah, it's perfect red mage magic so far. I didn't see the exact. I mean, even white magic wasn't really anything. Get Invis at slot 4, level 1. But you're right. This is quality red mage stuff right now. Despite the fact that I hate the red mage, that's just personal preference. But it's definitely looking like that was a good decision. It's also nice to have Ruse at level 2. It's not, again, it's like Life 2 is great to have at level 2, Ruse at level 2, X at level 2, Quad X level 2. The problem is, then you get to the situation where you're having to pass back and forth between, well, which of my 9 spells should I use? Do I focus on my Quad X's? Do I try to save them for the Life 2s? So it does get a little complicated in resource management, but it's definitely nice spells to have very early on.
Yeah, that's the number one complaint from Red Mages is that, oh, look at me, I have too many good spells to be able to cast.
Right. Which is not always the worst problem to have, but sometimes it's a make or break decision in certain
Yeah, but they always make it sound like it's the end of the world. Settle down.
So true. All right, so now that we've left Provoca, our runners have a couple options available. They have Elfland down to the south. First world RM problem. Agreed. We have Elfland down to the south. We have Melmond, Titans, and Earth Cave. We have the option of going over to Crescent Lake. We have Northern Dock. Where are you heading?
I'm going to try to dig out this canal. I would have went up to Matoya's, grabbed those chests, maybe grab the chests over in Little Dwarf Land, just so that I don't have to go. Well, I do have the herb, which apparently turned it into the bottle.
Turned it into a bottle. The herb leads to the bottle.
I'm trying to get out of this Intersea, and otherwise Marsh Cave is a great idea, just because, like, let's take a look at level 3 spells. If there's something there that's, not, something just a little better. Like, I'm not complaining. Yeah. I'm just saying, maybe a little better.
Yeah. I did forget that we have a loose canal in this one. So, yeah, I mean, I do agree that the Marsh pickup, or the Matoya pickup would be nice. Dropping, like, one of my favorites is on your way back from Provoca, dropping in a tent, like when you would start to head south, and then go up to Matoya, open up those boxes, and that gives you the option to soft or hard reset out, so that you're saving that travel time if it ends up not having anything.
Now, I'm not going to lie, the first time that I watched you play, I saw you do that, and I copied you.
Well, true secret, I copied somebody else. So, hey, the advice passes on and passes on. I had what was I going to say? Oh, right. Glove +4. Buy or pass?
Buy.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. We have a cat +3 and a glove +4. And I think the way that don't the gloves only go up by like 2 absorb per level, something like that? So
yeah, it's half as much as the armor.
Yeah, so it's like
there's only 1 per level.
What meaning, like, the difference between an iron gauntlet versus a silver gauntlet? There's only like 2 absorb. Something small like that.
Yeah.
So having something that's +4 is actually really good absorb. I think the pro ring is like 6 absorb? Something like that? I don't know. I'm probably messing all of that up. But
no, I think you're close enough. And the point is that the best armor that you can get, like, armor is more effective the less you have of it. So if you're going from 0 to 4, like, that's amazing. If you're going from 4 to 8, a little less amazing, but still, I'll take it until I get up to, 15, especially if I'm running a 3-man party diving into Marsh Cave with, lit 2 and a pocket full of dreams.
Yeah. Harrison saying he thinks pro ring is 8. That sounds familiar. I know it's somewhere in there, but yeah, you can. Glursing is good.
I trust Saracen.
Yeah, I trust Saracen. And look at that, the TFC of Marsh. In that very top right stat, he does find or IB Karma does find the canal, and that's our only item, so that really starts to streamline the rest of this seed.
Yeah, we've got a couple of things that we have to do. Go over, check out that ruby. It always feels bad to go check out the ruby, because if it turns out to not be the floater, it just takes so long. Like, usually you waste 2 to 3 minutes going over to get it. And oh look, Gerwolves have something nasty. And
yeah, or spiders, or the shadows. There are some pretty nasty things over in that corner.
We should start a fund to get Sarda, like, a new house a little closer to civilization.
Build them a little dock.
Yeah, you can have one of those cute little houses built out of a shipping container.
give people ideas. The more ideas, the better. I lost. Oh, right. I was going to turn our attention to Jeffy down here in the bottom left, and they decided to do a pop grind, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, because you have cake, so you can take out some of those things, and Zap is also pretty good against some of those creatures, so...
Yeah. I mean, especially with the giants, who typically have, they go down to things like Zap and cake pretty easily. It's an opportunity. It's probably not going to be the fastest grind. I mean, I can hear Jack, crying as I'm saying these words. The only issue is the magic has been so bad that you need something to get through, and with having Quad S and those AoE spells available without having a canoe, it could get you up to that, level 10, where Marsh Cave goes from a probably finish to definitely finish.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that. It's hard. I never really like doing a pop grind. There's always these cases where I him and haw, I guess I could do it, but I'm never going to feel good about it. Right.
Yeah, I mean, even for myself, running the weekend at Xeno's, I have this kind of panic moment when you have all of these other options, but you're super low leveled. There's not really... it's hard to say that there's a perfect choice, but there are choices there. I think the pop grind is the safest that we've seen, considering what could be down there in Marsh Cave, but it does take time to do it. It's not always going to be the best. You can see that Jeffy's a little bit behind time-wise, and I didn't see exactly where his levels were at, but we'll end up seeing if that decision pays off for him.
So it looks like IB Karma did take a wipe. Geists have Blizzard. Not something you want to see.
Yeah.
It's almost like this is exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I also hear in the back of my mind, Jat is a fantastic runner, great guy. Has really invested a lot of his heart and soul into the Duckling program, and one of the things he continues to say, and I agree with, is that this starter check is a massive pain, but it's a guaranteed incentive item that you can quick save through. It's a very low risk incentive check, so you could go over and try to do, I guess you could try to do Sea Shrine and potentially survive, but you can absolutely, definitely check Sarda. So I like the decision for Karma heading over to Sarda, even if it does happen to be the Crystal, which is kind of a womp.
What is this garbage with Odd Eyes with Lit 3? The sea is really dangerous. We have Northern Docks on. Good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, IB Karma did end up getting the crystal out of there, so now we got to go back, check out Matoya, see what she's got. My fear is that the canoe is going to be a place that's missing. Yeah, I want that canoe as soon as possible because I know Ordeals is going to have something good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, we only have two options right now. It could be the crystal. Well, I guess three. It could be the crystal turn-in that we just picked up from Sarda. It could be the Crescent Lake item from the Sages, and it could be in Sea Shrine. Those are our three locations. And given the history of the Duckling Derby, I would say Sea Shrine.
Two of those options are clearly better.
Yes.
I'm not going to say which two. You can leave that to the imagination.
Let's see here. Where are we at? It looks like Karma is trying to get to that crystal. J-Man looks like He's on the way over to Sarda. Jeffy's still down in Marsh, trying to survive.
He's just getting the business thrown at him.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I think a big deal was having chain armor on the fighter and leading, because even at like those low levels, that chain armor is putting in work.
Did you see what Karma picked up from Atoya's chest?
I did see that. It is a TNT. Dynamite, if you will.
Oh, no. I'm talking about that Bane sword.
Oh, no, I didn't see that. Oh, I love the Bane sword. Bane sword, best sword. Changed my mind.
Ailmark and agreeing with you in chat. Bane sword hype. Like, Bane sword, especially this early in the game, you've just turned your white mage into a weapon.
Yeah, I now would feel less bad taking a white mage instead of a red mage.
Right. Now, granted, like, Bane isn't going to help you in the end game, and unfortunately, it's not really going to help you in Marsh Cave, but it is absolutely going to be a vital help in this early game.
Oh, I've used Bane on Chaos before. Not saying it worked, but I used it.
Oh, you haven't Bane Chaos yet?
No.
It's a rush. Oh, it's a rush. It's so good.
When
you get your first Chaos Bane, it'll happen. It'll happen. And it's best when it's the cheeky Bane. Like, Chaos has 20 HP left, and you throw out the Bane right before the last swing, and it happens to hit. Glorious.
So I beat Karma. You see, the suspense is killing me because we've done a very long chain. I want to know what this TNT turns into. It's got to turn into something good.
Yeah. Ooh, a nice silver +4 helmet. We're really rounding out that fighter. Now, I'm starting to get... Let's talk about efficiency. I think this seed is pretty linear in terms of, toe down to a slab. That's not good news.
No.
I told you. It's the history of the Duckling Derby.
Yeah, that's exactly it, because now it has been like 5 minutes and you could have done all this with the airship in a minute. But you have to check it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely have to check it. And what's your other option? I mean, your other option is... Okay. So, advanced routing. You know what? We don't have a canoe, though.
Nope. Well, I guess the thing is, to kind of go back to the Duck Derby, we have 28 competitors racing. In week 1 out of 4 weeks, it's Mario Kart style points. So the winner of tonight is going to get 40 points. And so a max total of 160 points. But that's probably not going to be necessary to win. You just need the most points out of all 4 weeks. But that's going to involve taking a couple of risks. And so one of those risks could have been, all right, I'm not going to do this turn-in. Instead, I'm going to go over to, say, Crescent Lake and try to turn that in. And if that turned into the floater, you would literally be 6 minutes ahead of everybody right now.
Yep, absolutely. And so that, again, it gets to some of these routing ideas and routing decisions. And it's kind of funny right now because I want to talk about routing, and mad props to J-Man for killing the dwarf. When it comes to these runners, I feel like I don't have a lot of critical concerns. I think we're seeing good movement. I think we're seeing following the items. We're seeing good choices in magic. We're seeing, overall good play. So what would one step higher look like? What would a slightly more efficient first 20 minutes of this race, what would that have looked like?
I think there'd be just a little more overworld saving. Trying to manipulate the RNG a little bit. That might have saved, 30, 40 seconds, but we're 21 minutes into this race. You need whatever edge you can get because
Mhm.
we don't have the floater, we don't have the canoe. Something's got to
Right.
give here.
Right. The only thing I can think of is, like, I 100% agree with you on the overworld save, and it looks like copper +4s over there in the Crescent Lake shop, which that's a nice piece of armor to pick up for your mages there. Yeah, I agree with you in terms of the overworld saving. The one thing I would consider is, and I think we kind of talked about this with the Matoya check, is the save for the purpose of resetting out. And what I mean is, if you save, like, you get your crystal, you have to do the crystal turn-in. You can sit down, you can save outside of, like, right around where Dwarves is. If you save there, you can head down to Crescent Lake, check that key item, and see if it's your floater or your canoe, because that's a big game changer. If it's not, you can reset out and then go to Matoya and turn in the crystal. That being said, you could also do that the other way around. You could have saved, gone to Matoya with the expectation to reset back, and then check Crescent Lake. And it just so happens that the Matoya check led us right back to, unfortunately, a quest thing that's locked by the floater.
Yeah, and IB Karma showing us that Crescent Lake Sages, they had the chime. So there's only 2 physical places that we can get our next progression item, and that is either in Sea Shrine or that's the shop at Sea Shrine.
No, it's not. Because we already found the shop item. The shop item...
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to that.
No, I was going to say something about it earlier. That's the only reason it's stuck in my mind. We know where the cube is.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yes, that's absolutely worse.
So you're telling me that they have access to Sea Shrine. They have access to Sky. Both have incentive items. Sky is behind gating, so you do have to have the cube, but it's going to be really deep in there. But you know what? I've got a Bane Sword. I've got 2 pockets. They're both full of dreams. I'm doing it. Sky, 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 all the way.
But you ain't getting in Sky unless you get the cash. You need them pockets full of coin. That cube is 41,000 gold.
That's nothing. Give me 12 fights of Peds, and we're good.
You actually did that math in your head, didn't you?
I don't want to brag.
Yeah, that's another one of those. Just I find that funny because I have been in tournament league races that you probably have as well, where you have a $40-something thousand item, and the question is, do you grind the cash for the item, or do you dive another dungeon for an incentive? And so
you forgot option 3, DVS.
Which is? Tell
your tag team partner to grind out that money and buy it for you. Shout out to Fry Teeth, by the by.
Oh man, you guys were terrifying in co-op. Not gonna lie. Which I think that's starting up in, I think it's the month of August. We have our co-op tournament. So really, as the Duckling Derby closes up, there are some veteran runners who are planning on signing up, but have not yet solidified a team like myself. And there's going to be a lot of newer runners looking for co-op partners. So if you're interested in the co-op aspect of this game, hop in the Discord. We have a co-op channel for you to ask questions.
Co-op is not only a hoot, it's a hoot and a half. IB Karma deciding we're going to go to Sea Shrine and see what's for. Meanwhile, we have J-Man at the bottom finding a 9-pack of the little snaky creatures and the pinchy boys.
Yeah, and them snakies and pinchies, it's nice to have a big pack. The way that we set up our experience tables, the more enemies, the more, absolutely the more golden experience you get, but it's a nice early pocket experience.
I gotta see what level IB Karma is, because we're going into Sea Shrine.
With a hope and a dream. This is a gutsy move right here. Though, let's analyze though. You've got Lit 2, you've got Zap, you've got Quad X, you got Bane Sword, and you have Exit. Exit's the one that's gonna push me in that direction. Because let's say, like, we know we need 41,000 gold for that cube. Even if we don't find the incentive item here, you could get your 41,000 gold through this walk and potentially pick up a decent number of levels on a walking grind, as opposed to sitting around and picking up snakes and pinchies.
I hate when you make sense.
Yep, me too. and that's kind of what's tough. Like, part of the reason, well, not just part of the reason, a big reason why I named myself Devious RNG is because it's very characteristic of what you can encounter in this game. You can face Devious RNG that just decides to put your canoe right before Kraken and your floater in Sky 3, and you're just going to have to live with it. And sometimes you happen to be that runner that goes to ordeals in the first 8 minutes and finds a nuke stick in your floater.
That's me.
It's hard to say that there's it's hard to say that there's a one specific correct answer for a lot of these situations.
Well, let me tell you what, IB Karma picked up a ribbon +3 as well as a mage staff from Mermaids. Nice pickups all around.
Yeah, I really like the mage staff especially, and I did forget that white mage picked up Fade. So that white mage, again, is another piece that really makes this Sea Shrine spec a more viable spec. It still makes me scared, but in terms of all of the options that are available, this is not a bad option.
Oh, absolutely. At this point, I'm thinking, all right, I could probably 2-man Black Belt White Mage and call it good. But I want to bring attention down to J-Man's screen, because what we forgot with Northern Docks, you can go and try to do an early desert grind.
Mm-hmm.
And he found some delicious steak and wings.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, taking a look at Jesse, still going down, deciding to focus on some of those levels, and still going down to pick up that canal over in Marsh Top. Karma just picked up the defense sword over on TFC floor in Sea Shrine. And J-Man, it looks like, has decided to go into Barrage Tower, even with not having access to Sky Palace. How do you feel about that play in particular?
If my goal is to get a couple of levels and get the cash so that I can get the cube, this is not a bad play. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to go into Sea Shrine. Nobody does. Like, This would be one of those calculated gambles that I mentioned before. Mm-hmm. Like, if it's not the canoe in Sea Shrine, then you're going to win this. Right.
Yeah, I think the only thing I might do differently with this particular dive from Karma is doing exit out of the end of Mermaids and then going back in to pick up the TFC items, just so that if you end up wiping, you're not losing all of those extra specs and the money and the defense sword and things like that. But it's one of those 6 of one, half dozen of the other. They spent enough time in there that it's pretty clear that he could last for a little while, and ended up getting out of there no problem.
Duck Derby week 1 can't hold anything back.
Yeah, exactly.
But J-Man striking out in the first floor of Mirage. Nothing really interesting there from what I saw.
But lots of vampires already up at level 12, which that's a nice spot to be at. And we have the greater than less than floor with 10 chests right here. We'll see if he picks up something that's a little... another katana. That's just great vendor cash, decent sword. I can see what was going on in his mind there. Oh, I want to equip that shield. But wait, I'm not supposed to equip that shield until I have more things to equip. Like that ribbon.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we've kind of checked off all of the boxes. Who rolled this nightmare?
That would be Dark Moon.
Dark Moon.
Yeah, apparently many of us have gone through Danny's school of dastardly deeds, and I believe Dark Moon in Aylmarkin is certainly a graduate of that particular school. So some of that love of the horrible seed has been spread out to some of the other admins and mods. So I hope that we are able to do her proud, as she's trained us to roll some very, very unique seeds for our runners. Sorry, Aylmarket in chat saying, I took an extra credit class in rolling nice seeds sometimes. I feel like we should do a level check. Because I had mentioned that J-Man was in the teens. Did he get wiped and not saved? Is that what happened?
My eyes were averted.
Yeah. So were mine.
He might have just exited out.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's what happened. We saw him at level 12, roughly. I haven't seen where Karma's at, but definitely has fewer HP than J-Man. So it looks like J-Man's in the lead right now in terms of levels, which map check drink.
Map check. I love map checking, and I still map check because you just kind of zone out. You're just enjoying a nice day sailing, and you're like, where the heck am I?
Truth be told, I honestly don't remember the button combination for map check, and I feel like it's nice to not remember because then I might use it constantly. So depending on who's doing comms, mad respect for the map check.
Yeah, I'm not being facetious here. Like I will use it. 33% of the things that I run, I will use a map. Oh, it hurts my brain when you try to spell it backwards.
Oh gosh. Click. Yeah, thanks, Ale. Click C and select. Oh. Yeah. Thank you. We've all learned something today.
IB Karma running into a little bit of a problem here, hoping to get out of it.
Yeah, and this is that danger with the decision to do the early C play. Again, it's got large packs, it's got a lot of enemies, but unfortunately, they do a lot of damage.
Oh my god, those lobsters have Invis 2 and Stun and Lit. Just annoying. Oh, come on, Mage Staff, you can do it. Yes!
Way to go, Fade. No, exit. That was bad. Go away.
White Mage MVP.
Yeah. I really hope Karma can make it out of this.
What do we have here?
Ooh. Yes. Yes. Use Quad X. Use that Quad X. Yeah,
Okay, DVS, what do you do here? What do you do here? Oh, we found the canoe!
We found a canoe! Whoopity-doo, there's the canoe. Yeah,
So
you take that.
Here's what I'm thinking, DVS, and tell me how wrong I am. I think I bring up the black belt. I go down to a white mage black belt. I kill until I am uncomfortable killing any further, and then I exit out.
I would do that. Here's what I would do. I would use up my quad X's. I would use up my fades. Yes, probably bring up that black belt in doing it. Then exit out, restock my heal pot, and then come back in and do that grind.
You see, I knew you could improve upon what I was going to do. I was just going to go for it, all willy-nilly. Now, Saracen pointing out something. If you go to the other room, this trap tile is involved, and you cannot have an off step. Is that correct?
To me, that's the dang room. Other people have another room that's the dang room. And so when you talk about the dang room, those of you who understand co-op or the history of co-op, great times. So I consider that the room that's one up, and there are 2 trap tiles there. I believe they are 2 different trap tiles. I believe one of them is the one in the connected to the larger room of chests at the top, and the other one is that either that tile or the one underneath. Because I think there are 2 different trap tiles in this room. I don't think they're the same thing. I just said a lot of words, and probably none of them made sense. But there's a lot of trap tiles, and a lot of them are the same thing.
DVS, you always make sense to me. What I heard you say is,
I'm sorry.
I love Dengwu. I love Dengwu. My name is DVS. I love Dengwu.
Dengwu is my arch nemesis. This is like Sherlock Holmes and the other guy, whoever the other Moriarty. Yeah, it's like a Holmes Moriarty situation where you're like, I hate you, but dang it, I respect you.
So Karma decided that, yeah, we're doing a 2-man grind, but it's going to be fighter white mage. I absolutely understand that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think understand or agree.
Both. You gotta you have to take this. You're not going to beat Kraken. You're at the end. You're going to exit out. You might as well take some of this.
Mm-hmm.
But every step that he takes, every move that he makes, I am terrified of lobsters. Pinchy boys of the blue variety coming and ruining my day.
They'll be watching you. Couldn't help myself. Yeah, I feel like I know I don't know the trap tiles well enough here, so I do think it's a good idea to have tried to he'll be stunning you. Fast stun touch. Thank you, Ale.
Oh, that would have been so much better.
Yeah, that would have. Bad props. And it looks like Karma made the decision to finally to take the exit and, res up. It does look like they're going fighter strap, and we'll see if other runners who encounter the same thing end up taking the fighter strap or the black belt strap.
Yeah, that is rough because the black belt was pretty low. Like the black belt died early on Ivy Karma's side, from what I remember. So just getting the black belt up to level 12, it would have taken a little bit too much effort. So I get it.
Yeah.
I would have put it in because at that point, like, my black belt's just going to keep punching for the next 20 minutes.
Well,
then I'm going to punch my way back into the past.
Yeah. Well, okay. So how about what if we did this? What if once we found the canoe, we immediately exit, we res the black belt, and then we do a waterfall grind?
I wouldn't say no to that. I love me some waterfall.
That's the move I stole from you. So you steal from me, I steal from you. We both benefit.
Our powers combined, we'll win something someday.
Hey, you already won something.
Oh, stop, but go on.
Yeah, I'd be curious what this tile is. Cobra, it's not great. But even with that, you've got Fade. I don't remember if we have, like, Ice 2 or something. Now we have an X-Cal +5, apparently.
Like I was saying, it was a great idea to grind that fighter up.
What?
5 stars.
The X-Cal +4. Yeah, I was like, what? No,
again, I missed it. What did we get out of the robot?
Oh, X-Cal +4.
Oh, no, was that... Oh, that was the X-Cal from the robot? I thought that was in a chest.
Oh, what did we get from the robot?
Was it a rod? I think it was a rod. Chat, someone help me out here.
Yeah, it was a rod. Yeah, no promises on the tracker, people, because it's me and Deadpulse are doing the tracking, and probably not a good idea.
Yeah, we're pretty good at this.
I'm actually pretty sure that J-Man has the crystal in the slab, but I just haven't pushed the buttons yet. So,
feel free to call out specifically call out DBS in chat for not putting in all of the little buttons.
Hey, look where Karma is. You'll be happy about that one.
First ordeals, that's the winner.
Oh, I was so proud. I think it was Gregory Puff's flags. If you're doing flags, you want to race somebody. One of the next opportunities outside of the co-op is the best opportunities to try to get in some races and have some fun with unique flags is our Iron Gall, which we just started Iron Gall Season 3, where you can just challenge other members of the community with unique flags. And one of the best flags to give to a veteran runner is Vanilla Ordeal Pillars. Because they are a horrible... If you're trying to go through randomly, you're probably not going to do it correctly. But, yeah, it's a nice little flag. Give you an edge.
Yeah, the Vanilla Ordeals gives me the night sweats. Like I wake up screaming.
During the blind flag tournament that we just did, I think it was Greg Lee Puff's flags that he submitted had the Vanilla Ordeal pillars, and much approved. All right, so it looks like we have J-Man who's making his way over to the Sharknado floor. So J-Man's going to run into that eye tile and the canoe in short fashion, and he still has his black belt up. So
this is... Ooh. I don't know what he's going to do.
Right. I feel the same way. There's
the one bonus that he has is that he has 2 ribbons now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not that it matters against that eye, but if he got the canoe there, he's not going to check it.
Yeah. See, again, this is the troll about the trap tiles down here in Sharknado. There are different trap tiles in some of these rooms, and I'm pretty sure that this might be linked up to the one in the bottom right room. That would make sense. But he could completely miss the eye tile, and that would be a huge setback for him.
That's my confession. I rarely check that tile.
Oh, same. I rarely ever check these tiles. We
get the adamant. We get the adamant out of ordeals. We're running out of things to get.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It seems like the right play might have actually been grind the 41,000 because we still need a cube, and our only other incentive other than whatever's behind this adamant is sitting up there in sky.
I don't want to Monday morning quarterback if I could sports ball you.
Okay.
But you get the Bane Sword, you know that you have the ability to go to Sky. Like, I'm going to Sky.
Mm-hmm. So you would have sat down and said, I got 41K for a cube. I know I have the chime. I can't do ordeals. I'm gonna grind to 41K. I'm gonna pick up that cube, and I'm first thing going to Sky.
Yeah, absolutely. And it would have probably been incorrect because it looks like IB Karma just picked up the floater. First one picks up the floater. Going to be in the air around the 50-minute mark. That is a woof.
Yeah, this is one nasty seed. First of all, having the ruby as our first item, having a canal sitting there in marsh. You had to go to Sarda to pick up the crystal, which then you went to Matoya to get TNT, which gave you a slab, which is essentially a dud. And really your progression was in Sea Shrine, which happened to not just be the item, it led you to Waterfall, which was, Waterfall was the rod. Ordeals was the adamant.
What was that? Ordeals was the correct play?
Yeah, apparently ordeals can sometimes have what you're looking for.
Oh, we are in the air, thank goodness.
Mm-hmm. A little over 50 minutes to be in the air. I think no matter who you are running, you're in the air at 50 minutes with this flag set, you feel behind. Especially since you've just run a bunch of fetch quest items.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, it's still been kind of a linear seed. The real choice was, do you go to Sea Shrine or do you go to super expensive land? And so the easy choice is to go to Sea Shrine, and there is your canoe, which then led to another binary choice between going to Ordeals or Waterfall. Went to Waterfall first, but that was the proximity play. So I don't feel bad about my choices if I'm IB Karma. You could be correct that he might feel a little behind because, in this seed specifically, like 110 could be a winning one if a good seed is rolled, like a really easy seed.
Right.
I think we're pushing, hour 45, 2 hours for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those kinds of seeds that you can do, you might see some like hour 20, 30-minute times come out of it, but it's definitely going to be one of those on the longer end. And, for part of the reason I like the Duckling Derby is the fact that you have new runners in a tournament to feel what it's like to be in a tournament race. Because, again, we've said Karma has made all the right decisions. Nothing has been a mistake. But we're still in the air at 50 minutes, and we've done 2 or 3 different fetch quests.
You don't have enough for the cube, Ivy Karma, don't! Or if you already bought the cube, ignore that.
I'm pretty sure you already bought the cube.
Oh, I'm supposed to be tracking that.
Hey.
Who puts this thing together?
I was getting nervous. J-Man decided to exit out of Sea Shrine and save before trying to go to Kraken, which is absolutely the right play. But if J-Man is watching this back, he missed that eye tile.
Yeah, that's a real bummer. He took some mummies for a couple of levels, which not a bad play. Just getting a couple levels out of there.
Mm-hmm. He
also remember he had he had a little bit more levels than Ivy Karma did because he did a grind in the land of the desert.
Yeah, and I think I agree with Ale. And what you said earlier, for what he saw, picking up that mummy tile, I think was a good idea for what he knew. The thing that I'm pointing out is the fact that there are, Sharknado Room in particular, if you are looking for trap tiles, understanding how they are linked up can be super important. Yeah, personal experience losing a tournament by not checking that one specific trap tile, because it was the 3-eye tile in a run. So,
Wolf.
Lessons learned.
Well, J-Man heading down a waterfall now that we have our friendly little canoe. BD Jeffy P, I believe just finished Mermaids, is going to be heading over to try to get his canoe on Kraken side of Sea Shrine. We really haven't figured out what's going on with Kumos, so
yeah,
wishing them the best of luck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if they didn't uncheck the box on extend stream delay. If you know what I'm talking about.
I always know what you're talking about, DBS.
Yeah, yep, of course. All right, where are we at? We're getting rid of lots of things. Let's talk about Jeffy a little bit. Kind of going slow and steady. I think it's something to say of making the safe plays, making the correct routing decisions, not getting the greatest number of levels, but in a position where they are safe. Or I should say safer. I mean, going in with what you have, level 12, 13, going on this mermaid side, probably going to have a pretty good run through this mermaid side of Sea Shrine.
That was a Vorpal +4 that Ivy Karma found in Hyden and Canaria. But no, with BD Jeffy P, you're absolutely right. One of the things with the Duck Derby that is just terrifying is wiping to chaos, because you have, in this one, 27 other runners, and if you wipe to chaos, that's probably 7-8 minutes that you've lost right there, and that could be the difference between first place and 15th place. So doing things, getting your levels, and doing a more moderated approach is definitely a great strategy for these flanks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it is something to be said because we've learned this about a lot of runners in the community. Um, we have so many people that love this game, that love playing it. That I mean, even a lot of our devs who love writing code for it. That honestly have found that racing is not their thing. They love this game. They love the community. They do lots of stuff with broadcasts. But you know what? Trying to go fast, not how I would like to play the game, and that's awesome. I think the goal is to have fun, and for some people, opening every single box, every single seed is the most fun they can have, and honestly, I thumbs up that because it's about enjoying and celebrating a game and a community that we all have together.
That's my weakness. If I could open up every chest, I would. I'd do it twice.
Yeah, I mean that's well. Okay, so let's go back and let's talk kind of some bigger play strategy. It looks like for most of our runners, they've doubled down on the fighter as their main. Karma we saw a very clear decision. J-Man still up in the air. And I believe with Jeffy as well, I haven't seen if they made a decision. Yeah, get all 4 light up. Black belts are tough because they spend time in doing a level grind. Fighters are bad because they spend time opening boxes. And not just opening boxes, but taking extra steps to get to those boxes. And then taking extra encounters because of the extra steps you use to get the extra boxes.
Yeah, the what I am kind of surprised at is that we haven't seen any 2-man kind of things right now. What would be going through my mind right now is, all right, I've got the fighter, I have a Vorpal +4, or I found the Excal. I'm set. I'm going to get myself to, maybe 28, 29, whatever my breakpoint is going to be. I don't remember what the Excal it was an Excal +5. That puts it at 30. So yeah, I'd try to get level 30. Bring my white mage along to level 30 for funsies and do it to it. I know that fast was level 5. So all I would need to do is make sure that the black mage is around level 20, and I'll have enough casts for Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, and that's like the whole planning the end in mind. And I think there's another thing to be said though. With that particular plan, yes, you have a Vorpal +4, but unless you find that tail, that Vorpal +4 is just going to sit in your inventory. So if you're going to double down on the fighter and you're going to use, the hope of that Aegis Shield, Vorpal +4, all of those things are dependent upon finding the tail, and that tail could be in, it could be gated behind the Lefane, could be behind the bottle for all they know. It could be in sky, it could be in ice. It's more time. And are you willing to dedicate that extra time to hoping to find the tail that you could have said, I know I'm wasting time on the black belt, but I know exactly how much time we're going to take, and I'm gonna just hope that the tail isn't like in a very clear, easy to find place.
The answer to all of those questions is yes, maybe, and yes.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much.
But we had dual orbs being lit. IB Karma lit the Earth Orb, and J-Man lighting the Water Orb. Terrifying, and I love it. I absolutely love it. We're done with this continent. We don't have to come back here anymore.
Yeah. If there's one thing for this, being able to do sea and waterfall and not have to come back. Definitely.
Oh, Beanie Jeffy getting the good news, the eye tile.
Now this is going to be interesting. I am very curious to see what BB Jeffy does here, because he has the fighter up, has the black belt up, and now he's got to make the decision of which one. Like, am I going to stay here in main one? That black belt is in the team, which means that he's probably going to do like 100 damage on a punch, maybe. But once he hits that level 21, I mean, it's going to be just punch, 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 punch.
Let's see, IB Karma not finding not a terrible tile. I think, for a couple of levels, especially in Ice Cave, it was multiple whiz-whelming. Oh, BD Jeffy P takes a ghost fight off of the trap tile. This hurts. Let's see if he can pull out of it.
Got that mage stick out, which definitely nice
that's
to
a
see that
great
turn order.
It still only takes out one of them. Oh, they have Dazzle. I would rather Ghost try to dazzle me than, do the punchy punch.
Right. Now, fortunately, it looks like their hit percent was really low because they got a miss on one of the other light warriors. And, actually think, because we've been talking about this particular trap tile and being an off-step tile, I think for this one and in the room above, it's on the left side. It's on the left side, so you wouldn't be able to have a free trap tile on that spot as well. So it looks like you're kind of, if you want to do the eye, you have to risk the potential of getting an encounter.
Oh, IB Karma showing us that it is the didgeridoo, the loot that was at the bottom of Ice. Yeah, that's what we call it here in the business, Ice Cave.
Well, oops, it looks like oops all dungeons then, because that requires you to hit the last of our optional dungeons, and now IB Karma knows, hey, that tail is in the second half of Sky Palace, and I'm just gonna go mode the rest of this game.
Do you know how upset I would have been with myself had I gone through with my original plan, gone to Sky, found the crown, go back, and it's the tail?
After you've leveled your black belt.
I would just, oh my.
See, that's when the mental game begins. And actually is a great opportunity to recommend the Center for Competitive Forfeiting, which is one of our wonderful little organizations here in Final Fantasy Randomizer. It's okay to forfeit if you're not having fun. Go for it. And I do have some unfortunate news. I got a message that J-Man's power went out a couple minutes ago, and that's why his game froze. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see the end of J-Man's run, and hopefully next week power will be a little bit more stable. But I'm very disappointed to see that J-Man's not going to be able to finish the seed. But definitely mad props to what he's done so far. I think he definitely would have been a very solid finisher based on his performance.
Oh yeah, he was playing real well. If his power comes back on, and maybe if he had the save thing, he'd come back in and only waste like 20 minutes, but that still feels bad.
Right. Yeah.
I would just, cut my losses, and it stinks, but you got 3 more races to do as well, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's one of the nice things about kind of how the Derby sets up its points, that if you have a really bad week, it's not gonna do much. Like, you can always bounce back. I just keep thinking about Jat, who beat, I believe he finished ahead of me in our Duckling Derby, and missed week 1 because he was on a trip. So, always time to be able to catch up.
DVS, you're always first place in my heart. Don't let it get you down.
Oh, boy.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw J-Man a follow for a job well done tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's actually throw that out there. You can follow all of our runners, but especially J-Man. Great run so far. Been around for a while, and so just to see all of the growth in a runner like them, mad props, clap. We have BD Jeffy P still sitting on this eye grind, deciding to do a full party grind. Again, very safe. At this point, yeah. I'm curious to see if that black belt could start one-shotting. Karma is in C Shrine trying to pull out that tail, and this is the downside of having that fighter main.
Oh, look at that delicious XP! Metal slimes, come back! And I also, Manticores have Brack. I was just going to say how much I love fighting Manticores. Brack? No, thank you.
Yeah.
But we're up to level, 20? 18 to 20 on BD Jeffy P's side for the full party. Mm-hmm. I would not be surprised if he took this, got his black belt up to 21, exited out, and then killed the rest of his characters and did a solo grind on the black belt up to the last level.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that could be the safe play. There's always the option, too, of... though the danger with this is, how do you kill Kraken? What's your post-grind move?
Bane Sword. And boom.
That tells you know me. I'm gonna get Greg luck if I try the Bane Sword, and I'm gonna get one punched if I try the melee strat. So, hope and a prayer.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, you've got Lit 2, you've got Fade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think honestly, what I would do is it would be a question of 32 or 42, and as soon as I got to my comfortable level, I would potentially just try to solo Kraken, depending on where the scaling is at. But the fact that you have so many multiple parties, you have the stun touch, it's just an ugly piece. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, scaling is at 50 to 200, I think, which is a little scary. But if I have a 42 black belt, I go take it on. If I have a 32 black belt solo, maybe I don't.
Yeah.
That's why I like the 2-man grind here. Just get the black belt up to 32 with the white mage. You've got a million plus one casts of Fade now, and the white mage might be able to survive a hit. Come Temple of Fiends. I love it. I love white mages. I can't help it.
I do also want to point out, we do have J-Man here in chat. We're glad to have you in chat. We heard about the power outage. I'm very excited to see what you do next week, and I don't think this is the last we're gonna see of you here in the Duckling Derby. I hope, because I think you did a fantastic job in the first 1 hour and 2 seconds of play.
But not the remaining 0.95 seconds of play. That was terrible.
That was a little rough.
You feel bad.
Though let me throw out some more strategy for you. I'm not gonna do white mage black belt because the white mage is limited in its uses. It just throws out life. Why not do fighter black belt as your 2-man party? Because now you have basically a meat shield out front who can also do a bit of melee damage. And if you happen to find the tail on your way out, you have a second Life 2 caster because Life 2's at level 2.
that makes a little sense. I like my fade cast. If I don't, and you just said the entire time, you're like, what if you don't find the tail? And then you're like, you're going to find the tail.
No. I said, if you happen to find the tail.
If you, by happenstance, stumble upon a creature's tail. No, I feel you. I get what you're saying. That, like, I always forget that is a real option at that point, to go to melee and call it good. Because, yeah, if your fighter can survive 2 or 3 hits from Kraken 2 instead of 1, that gives you the ability to have your black belt only at level 32 and still be able to obtain victory.
So, and you're going to set yourself up for that Kraken 2 fight. You're going to put your fighter in slot 1, your black belt slot 2, black mage 3, white mage 4, so that if Kraken 2 decides to punch your fighter, you can probably eat one, and then you're going to watch as he punches your white mage for no reason. So, it definitely gives you some very good options for that end game.
See,
fight.
The difference is my white mage is going to have a copper +4 bracelet, going to have the ribbon +3, going to have gloves +4, and going to have, I don't remember what else, but is also going to be level 30, going to take that hit like a champ.
Man.
Or still die to it.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Procate, thanks, Saracen. Procate -2.
There you go. Thank you, Saracen. And unfortunately, it looks like Karma. Oh no!
Oh, ick!
Yeah, it was the stun touch that was really the heartbreaker there at the end. Like I saw that he just wasn't going down, but the fact that it was a stun touch on your fighter so far into the fight, that feels bad. But
we are picking up Nuke.
Yeah, I was going to say, I love the adjustment. Don't buy anything else. You don't need it. It's Nuke. Except maybe Ice Ray.
Was that? Yeah, I didn't comment on that the first time, but I really should have. Like, all of the level 3s and Nuke at the same level.
Mm-hmm.
That does make me sad. Don't worry, we're just diving Sea Shrine with Lit 2 and Cake. Settle down, level 6 magic.
I would say at level 10. No, I think that was a very smart adjustment. The nice thing is that Karma also knows that the crown is in that middle left chest. I think it was the Sky one left, and I didn't see if there were any other major items to pick up, but I think that I think they made a very good pivot to try to make sure that this next run is successful.
Yeah, what's terrible is that you need the crown to get the tail to promote, so you can use that delicious, Excal or Vorpal.
Right. Well, but
so
again,
it feels bad when you have to exit out with the crown just to come back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would exit out. I mean, again, Karma faced some devious RNG. Like, sometimes you get good karma, sometimes you get bad karma, and I don't know. I'm
Let me tell
trying
you. Here's a little secret. Here's a little secret of mine. Just don't tell anybody.
Okay.
I'm a big proponent of, if I find an item in Sky, I will not think twice before exiting out, saving, and going back in, because the Sky dive from entering Mirage to fighting Tiamat at this level of monster encounters is like a minute 20.
Yeah.
So either, if I have a bunch of items, this saves me more time. I would rather spend the minute 20, run back in, than face the possibility that, I've wasted 6 minutes because I wiped to, a Warmac, a stun touch Tiamat.
Mm-hmm.
Wizards with powers.
Wizards with powers.
You know what? It's late. Duck Derby hype. Week 1.
Yep. Well, I mean, I faced a 7-pack of Trance Sorcerers in my yeah. Thanks, Harrison. I'm having severe sorcerer flashbacks from earlier today. No bueno. Did you know that it takes a very, very long time to die to sorcerers when you have 400 hit points and tons of armor on a fighter? We learned that today.
Yeah, in my head, I see this playing out, and it's amazing. It feels bad, but it's also amazing.
So I threw out 8 minutes as my approximation for how long it took, and I love ale. Going back, well, I love ale in general, but even more so going back and actually timing it, and that it took me 8 minutes to sit there and die. And that was, and I think that goes to, again, some of these things that just happen. We're talking about decisions that cost time, and sometimes it costs time to make time. So my decision to waste 8 minutes was a question of, is this 8 minutes? Because we were playing deep dungeons, and I was 40-something floors deep. And, you know, that 8 minutes was the 8 minutes to die and then reach that, to sit and wait and die, worth losing what I had gotten from the last 10 to 15 minutes in going up and grinding. It's those kinds of questions that I think make this game so fascinating. So like your decision to reset out of the crown to then dive back in, it costs you 1.5 minutes to potentially save you 3 minutes in the future. You know, making the decision to really, you know, you get the crown, you have to go to Astos, you have to fight Astos to get the tail, you got to fly over to Cardia, you got to go down to see Bahamut. You're talking about probably like 3-4 more minutes to do that entire quest. But once that quest is done, now you have a Life 2, you have an X-Cal +4, and you have Opal armor that could ultimately save you more than 4 minutes further on in Topher.
I got to bring it back to IB Karma. We just wiped on Tiamat for the second time. That Tiamat, not kidding around, had a lot of health. We tried to pull out some quad X strats and just didn't work out. Tiamat, first thing Tiamat did was slow. So now your fighter, even though it doesn't have a great sword, swinging for 18 damage, ran out of nukes, ran out of fades, made staff, even threw out a zap in hopes. And it just wasn't enough, but we're diving in for a third go.
Did Karma move that fighter from the first slot, or was it still in first?
Nope, still in the first slot.
Yeah. So,
but it wasn't the stun. Tiamat cast stun.
Oh wait, so it was a cast a stun. Did she cast the AOE slow or the single person slow?
The AOE.
AOE. Yeah, that's rough. Though, Shumbabi, what up, Shumbabi? Pointing out, we got a Bane Sword. I mean, at some point you can just sit down there and say, you know what, I'm gonna just Bane Sword, and hope for the best.
Yeah,
but
we also have a white shirt, so that was a possibility. Yeah. But IB Karma making the adjustment to go grab the crown, and then saying, you know what, I'm getting this tail. I want my Vorpal +4 and or my X-Gal plus insert number here.
Yeah,
I like it.
Well, and again, this is thinking back to all of the races and even my Duck Derby. Like, the emotions at this point really start to become overwhelming. So, yeah, those emotions really start to become overwhelming, and you start asking yourself, am I making the right choices? Am I making the wrong choices? What do I do? And kind of feeling like I'm just losing time. But again, that's where, as Sarah's been saying, adaptation is super hard. And I think that, Karma is making a good choice. It is, Karma's making a good choice. Resetting out, going and doing this entire loop that you would have to do anyway, just to make sure that you now have better weapons and armor to make sure that you finish that sky run, as opposed to trying to finish the sky run anyway. And you're going to get life 2 on that fighter. You get a lot of other things.
Oh, Excal, it was +5, wasn't it? I even said that once.
Yeah, Ale said in chat, keeping yourself from tunnel visioning is super important, and I am very, very good at tunnel visioning. So, I would say that if you find yourself in a position where you start feeling desperate, doing the same thing over and over, do something else. Doesn't really matter what that other thing is, just do something different that is essentially ultimately going to lead you towards progress, whereas doing the same thing over and over again is not going to lead to any progress. And I love the
bridge boss.
How deep are we? An hour 34-minute bridge boss fight.
Hour 23 minutes.
Sorry, I was looking at the wrong time.
Yeah, don't mean to. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be so harsh.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. It's all good, buddy.
And yeah, IB Karma deciding, yep, we're going to promote, and we are going to head in, kill us a fish monster.
Yeah, from like a like mental emotional point of view, this is a good play. Like I've had so much trouble in Sky Palace. I'm gonna go do other things. I know that I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna be better prepared next time. I need to feel myself progressing through the game, and then when I get back, it's probably gonna be like one round and going, hey, why didn't I do that last time? But it kind of feels you break out of that cycle, and definitely feel a lot better in terms of how you're doing in the run and getting in some of that progress.
So now, I mean, it's all about levels. I mean, IB Karma is in go mode, just needs to kill us a sky dragon, a fish monster, and then slice our way back into the past. What levels are we at?
Karma?
Yeah.
I want to say 20s.
I don't think that's going to be high enough.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on Jeffy here. Again, slow and steady. Already
Very methodical.
Yeah, lit that water orb. They're go-moding this volcano dungeon, it looks like. Definitely, at this point, have enough money to pick up that cube. They're just pushing. And that, like, it's funny. This is, like, things like this can happen. Especially if you're trying to go through this game quickly, especially with a fighter, because fighters can go great until they don't, and then that's a problem.
That is a problem. I like how BD Jeffy is taking the optimal route to take the least amount of encounters. Jat, somewhere out there, Jat is very, very proud. But just to clarify, like when we say slow and steady, we don't mean like slow. We mean like methodical. Like one of my favorite racers to watch, Caleb, is a very methodical player, but is also very quick at it. Just checking, I'm checking all of this right now. I'm gonna, check off my little boxes and then go for the win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's two different. There's many different aspects of play, but you kind of mentioned two different aspects of it. One of it is routing and procedure, and then the second is execution. And you kind of focus on different ones in different parts of your play. And I think that BDJFEP has had some good routing decisions. I think the one rough one was the early pop grind just didn't end up giving a ton of extra levels, and I think kind of get out of Marsh just took a long time. But after getting out of Marsh, it just moving through the rest of this game.
Yeah, there was an unfortunate wipe early. It was either in Marsh or on the way to Marsh for BDJFEP. And that kind of like, I wouldn't say it started the tumble, but it was just like after trying to do a pop grind and it not paying off that well, then to be hit like that, it feels like we're behind. But we have 2 orb slits. We pretty much know where all the stuff is that we need. I'm sure that we, even though we're infallible, we may or may not have missed something on tracker. You know what we should have done? We should have pretended that like Dangwoo was tracking.
Yep.
Like, curse you, why are you failing at this?
Yep, absolutely.
Next time
I am fully behind the blame Dangwoo train, and if Sat wants to jump in, by all means, we can blame Dangwoo. And I think it's dang it. I think it is interesting when I'm thinking about levels, because if you look at hit points, I haven't seen the level numbers, but their hit points are fairly comparable with the fighters. But I know that BDJFEP has been trying to keep all 4 up for most of the game, and now you have someone who is making that consistent progress through, who has better levels than Karma did as they were doing these things, and now is starting to gain up some of that time, and we're going to see ultimately how much they can make up. But it's very, very strong play at this point.
Oh, if we just got glared and we got stun touched. we got out of it. Oh, This is terrifying. This Sky Palace.
Yeah.
It's the devious RNG of dungeons.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, never mind. I'm going to keep that to myself.
Oh, womp womp. Dang it. I think we're caught back up on BDJFEs. Maybe not. I don't know. Ivy Karma, though, making it to the Bridge of Destiny. Some people usually call for what are those bless RNGs or whatever you young people refer to them as, for getting some sort of robot chicken.
Praying for a Warmech. We haven't had the opportunity to see a Warmech. I would love to see a Warmech. In fact, I think Karma would love to see a Warmech here. If I'm in Karma's position, I'm saying, give me a Warmech. I'll take it. I'll swing at it. I've got the gear. I've got the spells. Hey!
No,
what do you know?
I agree with get out of here, because you've wiped twice here. You do not want to wipe a third time.
That is true. That is true. I will give you that. Absolutely.
And you dang near wiped like 2 more times just off of things with glare and stun touch. Like, get me out of here. Yes, I would love to get those levels, because this is your last real chance for them.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I got you on that. Yep, you're right. The only thing I could think of, power bonk from Lefane. What do I do with the power bonk? I think I reset the power bonk.
Yeah, you're probably right.
We had temper, didn't we? Pretty early. Or was it late? See if I can. Oh no.
No, we haven't seen temper yet.
Yeah. Well, big shout out to Woat, who has been keeping tracking notes for us. We do see that temper is actually a higher level. Woat's been tracking for both us and the other restream that's also happening right now. So with temper off the table, if I have defense and bonk on a fighter,
yeah,
I can probably man mode Topher.
No, you're right. I don't reset out of it. I keep that and I hold on to it like it's going out of style. And yeah, 3 cheers for Woat, the only adult in the room.
Very true. Very true. Do you know what's? It's crazy. CD Jeffy P starting their sky climb just as Karma is making their way to the Temple of Fiends Revisited, and this is going to be our first look to see how this Topher is going to look.
And thank you, Dangwu, for updating the track. I'm sorry, I get too excited. I'm watching Ivy Karma make like a dive, and I'm like, oh, I guess I should click this button.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the problems that we deal with.
Yeah.
I can't. I like the idea of diving like as soon as possible to try to finish this game. But you're level 21. That still gives me some pause.
Right. Well, I mean, I learned in co-op that the cutoff point for Massa for its extra hit was 24. I don't know any of the other cutoffs for any of the other weapons, but like level 24 for me has some significance for that. And so if I'm going in low 20s, I think that we have the flag set for a low 20 dive. I'm not sure that we have the spell support for a level 20 dive.
I cannot give you the Vorpal stats off the top of my head, but a base Excal is going to be 35. A plus 5 Excal is going to be 30, which means that at level 19 or 20, you're going to get your 4th hit with it. Mm-hmm. And I mean that's acceptable, but I hope that you're going to switch over to the Vorpal when you're taking on Chaos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or, you know what, maybe not. Some people don't like the Excal. I mean, Excal plus 5 is still, it's a weapon. I'm trying to say nice things about you, yes. Excal.
Yes, it is a pointy stick that hurts things.
How deliciously average of a weapon. That's all I got.
So for those of you who don't know, the Excal is a very fantastic weapon when it comes to elemental weaknesses, because it automatically deals the element that the enemy is weak to. So basically you swing with it, hits with all elements. Excellent for a large number of enemies in the game up until you get to Topher, in which case you no longer have elemental weaknesses for a lot of these bosses, and their absorb gets so high that even the high damage for the Excal doesn't really overcome that, and it's got a lower crit rate. Of all of the like high tier weapons, Excal I think has the worst crit rate, so that's part of why we have a hard time going through like relying solely on Exhale.
Oh, I gotta interrupt you. BD Jeffy P taking on this Warmac. So the fighter does the defense sword. Defense sword goes off. Warmac says, yeah, I don't care. Punches him for like 500 damage. And we're still taking him on.
Well, I mean, it's putting the power bonk on that black belt, throwing out the white shirt. I mean, this is solid strategy for taking this Warmech fight.
I gotta switch up to IB Karma, who's taking on Carry 2. Both his fighter and his black mage are stunned. The fighter comes out of stun. Meanwhile, on the bottom, BD Jeffy P, the black belt just still gets pasted, even though 3 white shirts are going on. We gotta run, right? Like, we haven't done enough damage. Nope, we're still fighting. Nuke, fade, let's see it.
It's only got 1,000 hit points. We can. Oh, that was a lot of damage.
Do it. Nuke it.
Yeah,
let's see it.
You gotta take it.
Oh no! Like it was a worthy attempt. Like I give BG Jeffy P props for that attempt.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, IB Karma did succeed in taking out Carry 2. So we are on to Kraken 2, 3 floors away from finishing this wonderful seed rolled by the magnanimous Darkmoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and now we know that we have that big gatekeeper coming up, and by big gatekeeper, and going right in, no heals, no prep, no switching around of party. Kraken 2 throwing out the only tier 4 from amongst the boss piles. Done already 500 damage. That's about 650. I think we only got 1 swing off though. So it looks like, 2 hits for over 400 damage. We're putting out a lot of damage with that fighter, and it looks like Kraken just decided to lay down and just let itself become calamari, because that was a very easy Kraken 2 fight.
When does the other shoe drop, DBS? That was easier than it should have been. So, like, here's my fear. When I take on an easy Kraken 2, like, if I wipe after this, I come back and Kraken 2 is just all, X2 form. Just, everything is, nukes, nuclears, and I'm going to punch you 15 times.
Well, Tia 2 is showing that Tia can be quite the troll as well, just punching out the Black Mage as its first move. Has a decent evade. Those white shirts are coming out. That white mage is on her last legs. I don't know if Karma picks up life too, and a nuke coming out from Tia, taking out that white mage, and missing again. Just a very high evade, but fortunately, it looks like we have good evade stats on that knight already. Tia getting in a couple extra hits, but that 55 damage is going to be enough to put Tia down. Heal.
Oh my! If you told me that I'd be going 1-on-1 with Chaos with a level 23 fighter, I'd be like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I would pick anything else besides.
Yeah.
But we're doing it. You gotta.
Yeah, you absolutely have to. You absolutely have to take this. Did he take off his
you're
chest
too
armor?
deep in this. You gotta go for it.
Yeah.
Oh, you also have to take these iron gold.
Yes, yeah. If you can, absolutely. Especially if they're. Ooh. Oh no. Okay. Nope.
He almost DVS'd it.
Heal.
I say that with love because one time I was watching DBS and he beats Kraken, goes for the orb one step beforehand, gets ambushed by something and destroyed, so he had to go back in and defeats the boss again. And so now I lovingly refer to it as pulling a DBS.
Yeah. All right, we pulled Chaos Defense coming out first. Chaos hitting with 2 hits over 200 damage. That is a significant amount of damage for each hit. Not what you want to see. We get our max evade out. Except slow 2 comes
he resisted the slow 2!
So we have the power bonk, power bonk, power bonk. I am a big fan of this strat so far, but I'm super paranoid about nukes and nuclears.
You had to say it.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
In the meantime, BD Jeffy P just beat Tiamat 1 with the Bane Sword. It makes you smile. It's got to make you smile. Yeah, I mean, this is like real time, 10 minutes in the past, real time cursing. You see, that's the thing. When you have a runner like DVS, great runner, done a lot of races, you've seen a lot of stuff in your time. You've seen, oh, my fighter has 399 health. I'm fine against this nuke.
Literally in my
what's going to happen.
In my race, either yesterday or today, I got exact damage dealt to one of my my light warriors. Felt bad. Felt real bad. I think it was like during a Topher dive too.
You see, and I used to like exact change. That's the best joke I could come up with. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, all of you out there on SpeedGaming.
I didn't give you much to work with, so it's understandable. So Karma's on their next dive. Oh, sorry. Thank you for asking. For those of you just joining us, let's do a quick recap. I am Devious RNG, joined here by Deadpulse. And we are week 1 of our Duckling Derby, which is our tournament specifically designed for new players to give them the experience of running in a tournament against new players. We specifically don't allow veterans to play, just to focus on having fun and letting these runners experience something specifically designed for them. Unfortunately, on the right side of our screen, J-Man had a power outage around the 1 hour mark and was unable to continue, and Cuomo's been having some computer issues, and unfortunately we're getting essentially a slideshow. So we only have IB Karma and BD Jeffy P that we're able to track at this point. But yeah, we're good.
IB Karma going back at it. Lich 2, nothing going on. Now, what I was not paying attention, I had to look at some notes. BD Jeffy looks like headed to light the last orb. I did not see if BD Jeffy got the key yet.
Where was the key? I'm trying to remember. But why would I need to remember when we have Wote's notes? The key came from the fairy, which came from the bottle. Which came from...
The fairy came from the bottle? Roasted.
Yes, yeah, the bottle. The fairy came from the bottle. The bottle came from the prince.
Thank you, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm pinging DVS in the text, so he's trying to go back and forth, and then I quick ask him a question and make fun of him. I'm such a terrible person. But now we're going to see IB Karma go back to Kraken 2 and see if that's the case. Because for me, it always seems like the first dive that you do in Topher is your best dive. When you go right in after that, something goes wrong that you didn't see. And that's what I'm worried about with this Kraken 2. We're going to see if Kraken 2 decides that Cure 4 is the correct opening move. No, we decided to punch the fighter for half his health. Now, one thing I will suggest, when you know that Kraken 2 has Cure 4 as their first thing, I wouldn't actually attack. Like, I would I would wait until that Cure 4 comes out because I know it's going to be, you know, turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. I've got Power Gauntlet I can use. I've got a couple of other things I can do. And Thorhammer doing a little bit of chip damage. That White Mage survived an attack. 445 damage from the Excal. The White Mage did not survive the second attack, and we forgot to see if the Knight has life. This could be the end of run number 2.
Yeah, this is not a fun time. When you're deep into your second dive, and kind of what you said, like, we talk about RNG tables a lot in this game in terms of like step tables and encounter tables and things like that. There's also battle RNG. Like, yes, you're supposed to have like 1 in whatever % chance of getting something to land, but there's a specific set of RNG for a battle that can push one way or the other, which is why one time you get a super punchy Kraken and the next time you get a super spell heavy Kraken. And unfortunately, we saw super punchy Kraken, whereas we were expecting a spell-heavy Kraken, and we got a Tia that went down incredibly quickly, as opposed to last time where Tia was the one that took out most of our party. Fortunately for Karma, though, we still have that Black Mage on their feet, and that's going to give us a much better chance of finishing off this Chaos fight.
So now, I don't have the answer to this one, but here's what we got. We've seen Chaos once. We know that Nuke is one of the first spell slots. We also know that he hits like a truck. How do you arrange your party in this? Do you put the Black Mage in front, hoping that they will cast fast, then absorb the first hit, while your defense sorting like crazy? Or do you put the fighter up top still, hoping that the Black Mage is going to get a little more than that fast cast out?
So I'm going to answer your question by dodging it. I feel like it depends on what my healing situation is. I'm going to go back and check Wote's notes to see if we have any curing or healing.
I think the answer is, instead of whatever you're going to say, just get zapped twice. That is terrifying. No. That is just terrifying.
No.
That feels super bad. I don't know where IB Karma's ribbons are, but
yeah,
that hurts so much.
Yeah. Well, and I see Guelph's point in chat. You know, you can put the fighter in the back row and get back row sniped anyway. Like, hey, welcome to a chaos.
Yeah, that's true. I would start thinking about making adjustments, like bring the black belt back up, maybe to soak up a hit.
Right. Like, I think so. I know if I was in Karma's situation, I would be doing exactly this. I would just dive and dive and dive and dive and dive and dive, and just pray that I end up being able to finish it out. I think to answer your question more specifically, with that type of chaos, with an early nuke coming out, you have to have something. I feel like you have to have some sort of healing in your back pocket, or you need to know that you can deal out 2,000 to 5,000 hit points of damage in 2 or 3 rounds. And I'm not sure that that's going to happen.
Yeah, you got a level 23 fighter. Even when you have a Vorpal +4, I don't know if you're putting out that kind of damage that soon.
Yeah. I think, and I guess the reason I'm saying it that way is I don't think that we are fully set for success with this party arrangement with what we have. I don't know where Fast is. I think it was 5 or 6.
Fast
right?
is level 5. It was the third slot, not the We're promoted.
Oh,
That matters.
well, that means it's the promotion lock one, which makes sense why it wasn't picked up earlier. But like fast is a hard requirement. Temper in having power bonk is okay, but it's more important to have the best defense sword. Nuke is rough. The ribbons. Yeah, I don't know. I think I feel like you're right. I feel like you have to start thinking differently. Like I said earlier, if you're like banging your head against the wall, you got to just do something different. Whether that's going out and buying Life 2 for that fighter to make sure that you're going to have your white mage for that final fight. You could go out and get a couple more levels. You could, I don't know, try to gear up. See if you can find those. You always have gold bracelets and pro rings in some sort of shop around the world. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like you have to pivot in some way.
Kraken 2 time. Third time's charm on this. Three hits, 307. Looks like that's pretty decent damage. I think that was on the Vorpal we switched over. Stun missing the fighter. And yeah, 4 hits, 307 again. Looks like Kraken 2 has one more turn of life. And during this time, BD Jeffy P making his way into Temple of Fiend. Kraken 2 down. And we're back to Tiamat 2 now. Hopefully, so we have the White Mage up, which is awesome. So what I would do, bring up both of the other characters and try to speed and power your way through Tiamat 2 and get that White Mage through Tiamat 2 so we can have a full party going in. These sorcerers are just saying, you're not running from us. What is this? And then automatically runs. Okie dokie. I like not casting Life 2 before getting to Tiamat because you only have 5 Life 2 casts. You're going to use at least 1 there. You don't want to get to a situation where you get ambushed by some sort of vampires and they decide to destroy your Black Mage, just like Tiamat did right there. And yeah, Tiamat being very evasive, but we're going to swing with the Vorpal, hoping to get some crits. What was that? 3 hits, 143, not the best. Those white shirts still coming out. We got 3 stacks. That might be enough. Rub comes out. Fighter resists it. 2 hits, 174. Slow, but sure. Looks like we might be able to take this guy down. And we missed the White Mage after 4 stacks with the white shirt. IB Karma has pretty much reached the defense cap. But then I say that, and Tiamat decides to crit the fighter. Well, thank goodness it was the fighter and not the White Mage. That would have been a very tough time.
Be careful what you say. I learned that the hard way, saying something like 2 seconds ago.
I don't believe in curses.
You do happen to fall on the better side of the RNG. So, like, again, we're seeing, I think it's funny that we're seeing another, like, the Tia has turned kind of back in the first Tia that we saw. And fortunately, now we're through. But please heal, please heal, please heal in life. Yes, please heal in life. I think this is going to be that chance. This is going to be that opportunity to make it through. Especially now that we have the white mage that can throw out that white skirt. Hopefully, has some healing. You've got and some party movement, trying to preserve that black mage. I think having the fighter eat a hit from chaos is fine. I like what Karma's doing here.
It's real rough because that white mage only has 353 health. Like, that one bad nuke and it's over. I think I put the white mage in front. White mage, take a hit or cast some white shirts if you're lucky, and then at that point the fighter will probably get fast off. But everything... Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Zap rolls out again! Again!
Oh no!
This is where you have the Bane Sword on your white mage and you go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's... Ugh. That's heartbreaking.
This chaos, and that was a second zap. Has a second zap. Was it a second nuke, or was there only like a couple of spells?
I don't know. It seemed like it might have been. It seems like it might have been just a short spell list.
Somebody tell me if that's possible. I thought that any of the bosses, they had to have a spell list 8 long. Or no spell list at all. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe one of them has a 4 spell list. Because yeah, we saw Zap, we saw Nuke, we saw Slow 2. And then we saw Zap and Nuke again. So maybe there was a 4 spell in there that I missed. I thought we were also a little punchy. But that is just terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the spell list goes, has 2 Zaps and 2 Nukes.
Yeah. But hey, you know what? BDJFEP is on Kraken 2 right now. Like we said, slow and steady, making continual progress, focusing on the important things. And here we are. We've got a party that has strong HP all across. And hopefully we're going to deal enough damage to put down this Kraken pretty quick.
And Kraken has Tornado. We did not see that on Ivy Karma. And hits the Cure 4. So, but here's my issue with BDJFEP's dive. Like, he's got to survive the zaps.
Yeah.
Like, that's the biggest problem. If you can survive the zaps, you got to survive the nukes. And if you survive all of them, you still need to find a way to do, 2,000 to 4,000, or 1,000 to 4,000 damage to chaos.
Right. I'm trying to think, where's Wall at? Wall is at level 7 in Gaia. So Wall is one of those spells that you want to have on the top of your mind for situations like this. I mean, really, it's however many ribbons do you have, and then can you get out Wall? And that's really the only thing that's going to protect you from Zap, unless you have a black shirt. I think those are really the only things that will protect you. And having Zap come out that early on Chaos and just having the bad luck rolls that put down your entire party just feels bad.
Yeah, I mean, here's the issue that I'm seeing. So we have to power up the fighter enough to take out Chaos, and this is going to take probably 2 to 3 turns of Defense Sword, and then maybe 3 more turns of Power Gauntlet. So we're already at 6 turns. We got to hope that fast goes off. We got to hope that the fighter dodges slow 2. Mm-hmm. We have to hope that the fighter can survive 2 nukes. So if the fighter takes average damage of 200 for those nukes, that's 400. If he's at full health, that leaves him at 108. We don't know what the last spell is. We don't know if Chaos has skills or if the fighter's going to get hit. So 7 turns down the road, we're finally ready to start swinging. It's still going to take 4 to 5 turns to kill Chaos. It's just terrifying. I don't know if after the 3rd dive that I wouldn't be like, you know what, I'm going to go grind for 15 minutes and just finish.
Yeah.
Because I'll bet inside, some version of the RNG, you can absolutely get through it.
Yeah. And again, one of those things, sometimes I hate going into the race room after something like this because you see people go, Chaos had Zap? Like,
That's me, that's what I do.
I was going to say, I feel like this is every time we race, that's what our post-race room looks like. Hey, did you find the nuke geists that were everywhere? No, they actually cast Cure on me.
Handed me lollipops and everything. Why don't you ever give me lollipops? I'm sitting here with no candy, watching a great race. BD Jeffy P on Chaos. We switched around our party a little bit. This is going to be his first look at the Swole Chaos that we're seeing before us.
Swole is right. Again, hasn't seen anything. I like the white shirts coming out.
And we got fast on the black belt, but the black belt got punched. Only has, double-digit health. That's terrifying. We're definitely going to cure 4. Zap comes out. It has taken out everybody but the black belt. I'm not laughing because I like to see this. I'm laughing because of how terrible it is. And we're at heel pot strats. Slow 2 hits him.
Oh, no.
It is. There is nope. It is time to reset.
Yeah. So I do want to take, at this point, I do want to take a minute and update us a little bit on kind of what's been happening in some of our other runs. Our runner on the top right, Cuomo, or Fumo, I'll ask him how to pronounce it, actually finished at 1 hour, 47 minutes and 6 seconds. There's an issue with the stream delay. I think didn't cut off the preserve at the time delay, and so we've just been getting further and further behind. So we're going to try to make sure that we correct that for next time. But since Cuomo did finish up, which that 1 hour, 47 minutes and 6 seconds brought him 4th place. So we want to bring Cuomo in here. Again, I want to ask him how to say it. To give us a brief little interview, and we'll watch Karma and BD Jeffy P as they go. But since I said Cuomo's in 4th place, I can say that Earthwing Angel finished in 1st place at 1 hour, 33 minutes and 18 seconds. Mushman in 2nd with 1 hour, 36:47. And Tomza finished in 3rd at 1 hour, 42 minutes and 19 seconds.
Oh my goodness, GG's all around. That finishing this seed, 1 hour, 33 minutes. Earthwing Angel, are you some sort of monster?
You know what? I'm curious if Earthwing Angel is in chat. I don't know, or if someone saw them play. Did they go for the black belt strat? If they had a 42 black belt, then that absolutely should have allowed them to not be affected by that zap, and that could have been one of those game changers right there. Just deciding to go with the black belt at 42, as opposed to hoping on a no-ribbon fighter.
I've been trying to get Kumo in here, but I am failing pretty hard. Can I? DVS, can you make it go? Just make it go.
I fixed it. Okay. Hey. And we've got you in here. GG's. How do you pronounce the name?
Kumo.
Kumo. Okay. I didn't.
It
I
means
wanted. That was
cloud
like,
in Japanese.
oh, sweet. Kumo. GG's. I'm really sorry that we didn't get to see your run in detail. But finishing 4th place in a seed like this, I mean, we've had a huge number of forfeits already in this. Like, what were you thinking going through?
Well, at first when I got to Elfland, I was like, where the heck do I go? Because it didn't specify on the flags where what was. So I was like, I'm by Marsh. Let's go check out Marsh. And that's where the canoe was. So I was like, okay. We'll go with this. And then I was already set to go to, I already had the Oxtail, and I was like, well, I guess we're forced to go to Onrack already. And I forget what I pulled from there, but I think was it the crown? I'm not 100%. Once I got the item from there, I exited out and I went to the waterfall from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seemed like a... Sorry, go ahead.
No,
I was just gonna say it seemed like a you know, I think that's a good way of going through it. Of like, hey, what's here, and just kind of following and letting the speed lead you, as opposed to trying to like force something in.
Mm. But yeah, my pathing was the as when I got to Elfland, because that's usually a pathing. I an area, provoke Elfland, and then if you guys would saw it, I thought I had the canoe, and I was trying to dock up on the river there, and I was like, oh, don't have the canoe. Where the heck do I go? So that's when I went back to Marsh Cave, and from there went to Onrack, and then I got the rod from the waterfall. So I was like, okay, we're gonna take out your fiend. From there, it just went into, finally, I was able to get the items I needed. But the internet issues sucked. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. Like I said, one of the reasons that we love doing this is giving runners an opportunity to, hey, just be a part of the tournament. If there are tech issues that come up, we're here to help you with those tech issues, not be frustrated by them. So I'm like I said, I think I said in one of the chats you and I had, I'm excited to get a look at your runs and what's going on in the future, because again, being able to get through a seed that was yes, somewhat linear, but had a lot of obstacles in the way.
Lich threw thunder at me, and I was like, oh, that's not good. It was a very interesting, because I didn't really get to see the flags beforehand. I didn't really practice. So I kind of went into it blind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, quick update. Ivy Karma and BDJFEP have both forfeited, so everybody on our screen is done. Let's give everybody a big GG round of applause. This was a tough seed, especially for the Duck Derby, especially for week 1. And Kumo, I mean, congratulations for taking 4th in this, and even just for finishing it, because this was, I don't know if I had the fortitude to be able to finish this race.
Yeah,
I heard that Chaos threw 2 nukes out.
And
yeah, there were two nukes, slow 2, zap, fire 3 for funsies.
Oh, no.
And I did just bring in IB Karma and BD Jeffy P. GG's, man, How are you both
this scene,
feeling?
man.
That was very rough.
Yeah.
I do recognize that my levels were not high enough. I definitely needed to grind some more. But I also realized that it really did mean loose canoe. So I last locationed that, which was a terrible thing. So that got me off on a really slow start. Yeah. So I need some de-rusting to do. I tried to practice a little bit more this morning beforehand, but a little bit more work on my game, and hopefully I'll do better next time.
Well, I'm gonna do a quick around the clock. Like we'll start with Ivy Karma at the top. Like Ivy Karma, you put on a very good game. You had your routing was very nice. You just ran into a little bit of bad luck in both Sea Shrine and Sky Palace, as well as just getting the Chaos and Chaos. Like, what was your least favorite part of that seed?
Like, I felt really good until my first death at TO1. And then I should have done what I did after my second and just went and grabbed the thing, went and got the tail and turned it in to get the better weapon. Also, I should have just done black belt grind. The only reason I didn't is my black belt died, I think, at the very beginning of the game, and I just never rezzed him.
Yeah, that was really rough because you found the eye tile before anybody else on screen did, and you took that, but you decided to go with the fighter on that, which I thought was still a good idea. But had your black belt been up in the same level, would you have done a grind on the black belt instead?
Yes. And I would have went 32 on the black belt. I feel like I probably stopped 2 levels too short, and that's probably why I was a little short at the end, is what it felt like. I think 20 was a little short. I think I needed to probably go to 22 to guarantee, because I didn't get hit the 24 like I thought I would.
Yeah, the double nuke on Chaos, because honestly, and this goes to both you and I'm going to go to BD Jeff EP, like the double nuke on that Chaos was the brutal thing, not to mention the zap. If that wasn't the case, if Chaos had a nicer spell list, you probably would have been able to beat that at your current levels, though. But BD Jeff EP, what levels do you let's say you take your Wayback Machine, what levels would you have gotten to try to complete that?
I think at least 32 on the black belt, but the black belt's hit percentage was not that great. So it wasn't hitting every time, but maybe the levels would have turned that around. And the zap was absolutely the killer for me. But yeah, I think I just needed to grind one, either the fighter or the black belt.
Yeah, I mean there is a choice in there to do a full party grind, and like I said, I think it was just a little bad luck because even if Chaos didn't roll like a bad spell list like that, the first thing that happened is your black belt in the 4th slot took a vicious punch, bringing him down to double-digit hit points. And then the zap comes out, taking out literally everyone else before your Cure 4 can go off. It was the worst RNG that could have happened there. And then you're like, oh, well, as long as the black belt survives, nuke. Okie doke. I don't blame either of you for calling it quits on that one. This was terrible.
It was 5 Chaos deaths. I just couldn't do anymore. I was just like, it was 2 TO1s, 5 Chaos deaths, and it was just like, I know where I messed up. My routing felt really good. I felt really good about that. If I hadn't died to Chaos the first try, I think I was top 3 or 4.
Yeah, you were definitely in top place contention. It was that Chaos fight with what happened. Like, again, if Chaos had only 1 nuke or maybe just the zap, it could have been a completely different situation.
It wasn't even the Chaos one. It was the Kraken the first time through. 1 punch both the black mage and the white mage right off the bat.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah.
And somehow I still made it through Tiamat. I don't know how I made it through Tiamat with just the fighter up. But I felt really good about routing. So if I can clean up level and choices on how I want the end game to go, I think I can do really well. Because my routing's good. My routing was great.
Yeah. You make me nervous, so that's a good thing. Let that be a compliment.
Yeah, like I felt really good about every choice I made except for I should have. And here's the reason I went fighter. I thought Massa was guaranteed somewhere in the seed for some reason. And I think I got flag sets confused with either co-op or something else. Because there's one that's Massa guaranteed in the Corneria lock. I don't remember which flag set that is, which tournament. But that's the one I got it confused with. Because if you notice when I got the key, I dive bomb to Corneria.
Did you find the Excal +5?
Yeah, I got Excal and Vorpal. I tried both. I took a run through Topher with both of them. Still couldn't do it.
Yeah, and then it becomes a DPS issue, and unfortunately, without having those fast paths come out, if Chaos is evasive, with the Zap double nuke, there's really not much you can do unless you are able to get some pure 4s out, which unfortunately we're at level 7 white. There were so many things in the seed that were just gross. That I think and I said this at the beginning, and if you watch this back, a lot of what we were talking about was, there aren't major areas of concern or major corrections or anything. You guys ran this very well. It just, that end game and the way that the magic laid itself out just set up for a very ugly first seed. And sometimes that's what happens. I feel like every Duck Derby has its one seed, and it looks like week 1 was it for me, and it looks like week 1 is it for you guys.
We're gonna fingers crossed that this is the one. We're smooth sailing from here on out.
Hey,
I really had to laugh at the level 6 spell list for the Black Mage. That was hilarious.
I laughed at it too. That's what I was about to comment about. I was like, hey, how about that level 6 Black Magic though?
Oh my god. Yeah, I was like, I stood there for 5 seconds and I just scrolled through all the magic. It's like, look, all my things are right here at level 6. That sucks.
That does suck. That is the best way to put it.
I didn't see Pure 4, but was Warp 7 or 8. Anybody see that one?
Yeah, all the good stuff was 7 and 8. Yeah,
I
you guys
usually quit looking for magic 7, 8. I don't even really, because I usually don't go past level 24.
Yeah, you had Wall was Gaia White, Tier 4 was level 7 in on-rack, Temper was level 7 in on-rack, and Warp was level 8. But yeah, all of that, the really good, all of those really good spells you wish you had, level 7 and 8.
At least we had fast at level 5.
True. Promotion locked, but it was there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I just went, once I grabbed my tail, I promoted, then I went down to Melman, and I got fast on both Red Mage and the Black Mage. And that's basically my strat for the Gopher was, because I found the white shirt, and I found the defense sword, so I used the defense sword and the white shirt throughout the Gopher.
Yeah.
I stumbled across. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna ask Dead Pulse if he had any overall questions, and then start moving us towards giving some final thoughts, which is just a time to kind of get those last little things that are floating around in your head, just kind of get them out there, and then help us wrap us up the stream here. So Dead Pulse, any questions before we move into final thoughts?
No, I just wanted to share, everybody, you ran a great game. This was ridiculous. I can't stress, if you play this game, you know how hard this was, and if you don't play this game, you're just going to have to trust us. Like, this was a monster compared to even the most veteran of seeds coming on. So, like, everybody, really good job running this. But DVS, I will hand it over to you because you were the master, and give us some final thoughts. Everyone, take us out.
Well, unfortunately, my headphones are about to run out of battery. So if I disappear, Deadpulse is going to lead you out. But I will say, as someone who's historically known for getting really bad RNG, like, seeds like this happen, and we all have a story like it. And like I said, every Duck Derby has one. If you want to see something truly wonderful, my very first Duck Derby seed, I did 19 dives into Topher. And I have a little like snippet on my my Twitch if you want to watch that, just for some like, okay, it's not just me. But as Deadpool said, just great work, great overall technique. You guys are showing how good this Duckling program is by how well you're playing. So we do want to give you again some final thoughts, just some time to kind of say your piece, say thank yous if you would like to. We'll start with Kumo. Is that how you say it? I already forgot.
Kumo.
All right, cool.
Kumo's fine.
We'll go Kumo, BD Jeffy P, and then IB Karma.
I thank you, everyone who gave me the opportunity to race and helped me along the way, because through this Duckling Weekly stuff, I learned a lot of things, a lot of pointers. I thank you guys for your time here in the booth, and you guys are awesome.
BD Jeffy P.
It was a lot of fun, and look forward to trying again week 2, and hopefully it's a better seed. I agree with everything you guys said about, it's just luck of the draw is how it happens. I do appreciate the comments on how we did overall. So, we'll keep trying, and fantastic program. Thanks.
And IB Karma.
Yeah, they pretty much said most of it. It is a really good program. I've learned quite a bit. I only started playing at the beginning of this weekly process, so it's pretty neat. If you want to get into it, learn it, come join their Discord. It's pretty awesome. Other than that, looking forward to all loose chaos next week.
All right, and with that, we are going to wrap up the Duckling Derby Week 1 on SpeedGaming 3. To all the fans out there, if you do one thing right today, tell someone close to you that you love them. If you do 2 things right today, why don't you join our Discord? You can go to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com, join our Discord, join the community, see what we're all about, take part in some of these delicious races, meet all these great people, have a lot of fun. I mean, there's no reason not to. But thank you for SpeedGaming for hosting us on here, all the Final Fantasy Randomizer community. Thank you to Woat, the adult in the room, for helping us out with these notes. They're extremely helpful. And to all my friends and enemies out there in the Final Fantasy Randomizer and SpeedGaming universe, have a good night. We will see you next week for Week 2 Duckling Derby.